In this video, we're going to explore how to navigate and set up the Grades tool in D2L. So the Grades tool is the place where you enter all of your students' grades for the assignments in your CCCOnline courses. You can get to the Grades tool by clicking on the Grades link in the toolbar here. Now you'll notice when you enter there are 4 tabs at the top, and by default it takes you to the Manage Grades tab. This is the place where you can see a list of all of the gradable items, their points, and the items in the course that they're associated with. However, the tab you'll want to click on to actually enter your grades is the Enter Grades tab. When you click on Enter Grades, you'll see a list of all of the students in your course, and then you'll see a column for each gradable assignment. So there are a couple of things that you'll need to do to set up your gradebook when you first get your CCCOnline course. And you'll do this by clicking on the Setup wizard. So the first page here just gives you a summary of your current gradebook settings. To begin the Setup wizard, you'll click on Start. The first page is to choose the grading system, and the recommended grading system that we generally use for CCCOnline courses is points. And this grades things by points instead of by a formula or by a weighted setup. You'll click Continue to move to the next screen. On the second page here, you're choosing how the final grade is calculated. So your 2 options are Calculated Final Grade or Adjusted Final Grade. In most cases, you'll be clicking on Calculated Final Grade. And this will be releasing to students the grade that D2L automatically creates by totaling up all of the points you give each student for their assignments. Adjusted Final Grade will give you the option to manually adjust or change students' grades at the end of the term. And that's usually a special case if you're doing that, so generally you'll want to click on Calculated Final Grade. Then you'll hit Continue. On the third page here, you're going to choose how grades are calculated. The first thing you're going to choose is how ungraded items are treated. The recommended setting here is to treat ungraded items as 0. This will make sure that the final grade that's automatically calculated in D2L will accurately reflect the total number of points available in the course. You'll also want to check Automatically Keep Final Grade Updated here under Auto Update to ensure that D2L is automatically totaling up all of the points for the assignments for you. Then you'll hit Continue. On the fourth page here, you're choosing the grade scheme. Now you may have more than one scheme to choose from, but generally the scheme that you're using is a percentage scheme. You may have a special course that uses a different type of scheme, and if you have questions about the scheme for your course, you can always direct those to your chair. You'll hit Continue here to move to the next screen. Here it's just asking you how many decimal places it's going to calculate to. We'll generally want to leave this at 2 decimal places. Then we'll hit Continue again. On step 6, we're choosing the display options for the student's view. So you want to make sure that all 3 of these boxes under grade details are checked to ensure that students are able to see all the details about their grades. Here again, you're setting the decimal places displayed to 2, and for characters displayed for each item's title, you can leave that at 15. And then you want to make sure to check to display final grade calculations to users under the final grade calculation. This will make sure that students are able to see their automatically calculated final grade. Then you'll hit Continue one more time. And on the last page here, you'll just get a summary of what you just did to set up your course. And you can go back and just make sure that you've chosen all of the correct settings here. Then you'll hit Finish. You'll see a box that shows you that your settings were saved successfully. And now you can go back to the Enter Grades tab to enter grades in your newly set up gradebook. So the setup wizard we just completed is an important part of making sure that D2L calculates your grades correctly. However, there's one more place that you're going to want to go to make sure that your display settings are set up properly. This is the Settings menu, which you can get to by clicking on the Settings link in the top right corner of the screen. Now the first tab it takes you here are your personal display options. So if you scroll down here, you'll notice a grade details section. Now this is the same section that you saw in the setup wizard. However, while that section was setting up the display options for students, this is setting up your display options. So here again, you'll want to make sure that all three of these options under grade details are checked to make sure that you're seeing the most detail. Then at the bottom here, you have a couple of options that might be helpful. Here you have the option to repeat the calculated final grade at the start of the user list. This will just show you the calculated final grade all the way to the left on your Enter Grades view, as well as all the way to the right on your Enter Grades view. So whichever side you're on, you're seeing that final grade. It's just a convenience thing, so you see that in more than one place. Now this last section here is really helpful. We saw that when we first entered the Grades tool, it automatically took us to the Manage Grades tab. However, since the place where we're entering our grades is the Enter Grades tab, you can actually drop this down here and change the default tab that it takes you to when you first click on the Grades tool. You can set this to Enter Grades and click Save. And now when you enter the Grades tool, you won't have to click on the Enter Grades tab to get to that view. It'll just automatically take you there. Now let's close this and see how what we just did affected our view. Now you'll notice that where we weren't seeing anything before in these little columns, we're actually seeing the points for each assignment. So that's how you complete the setup wizard in your new CCC Online courses and how you set up your personal gradebook display settings.